Give it up for the very, very funny Stephen Darnell!
Let's cut those boxes. When it comes to sex, short and quick but good is better than long and bad. And if it's going to be bad, it might as well be quick. Hi, I'm Steven. All right, I think that really wraps up my jokes portion of the evening. We're going to tell a story right now. So here's how the story goes. When I was a much younger man, I decided to hitchhike across Canada because I used to be really fucking cool. And I made it pretty far. And here's the thing you gotta know about hitchhiking. Here's how it works. What happens is you get to your little corner, you stick your thumb out, and then a car who's feeling merciful will see you and slow right down. They'll go really slow because they really want to size you up and make sure you're not the kind of guy who's going to be wearing their skin as a suit later that day. And then when they stop in front of you, they're going to open the door real slow still for one last size up because they really, really don't want you to have sex with the eye holes of their skull anytime in the future, really. So imagine my surprise when I get out to New Brunswick, and I walk out to my corner, and I pop up my thumb, and almost immediately around the corner comes this car, and as soon as he looks at me, he jerks the wheel to the side, skids to a stop in front of me, the door flies open, and there's this little old Acadian man inside going, get in, 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 get in. And I thought then, the same thing you're thinking now. At last, an adventure. So in I climbed, and this is exactly how fast the conversation went. He went, it's so good to meet you. My name's Bob, I'm a salesman. Tell me, who are you and where do you come from? And then he hit the gas and away we went. And I looked at him and I said, good to meet you, Bob. My name's Steven. Why, just this morning I was in Montreal. He goes, Montreal, I love it. It is so full of life. You go to the store and there is life. You go to the park and there is life. You go to the club and there is life. Here everything is dead, but there it is alive. And also it has an excellent bisexual scene, and myself being a bisexual, I appreciate that. Say, Steven, you don't happen to be a bisexual by any chance, do you? And I had to say, I'm sorry, Bob, I'm not. He said, don't be sorry, it is nothing to be ashamed of. And then we went a good another 90 seconds where we made some small talk about how disappointing his son is. And then he looked at me and he said, Steven, do you remember when I was honest with you earlier? I said, yeah, Bob, actually that does stand out in my mind. And he said, good. May I be honest with you one more time? I says, Bobby, I'd be offended if you weren't. And he says, good. Do you need any money? Now, for half a second, I thought, what a nice old man trying to make sure this young vagabond is taken care of. And wait a minute. He's not a nice old man at all. I'm receiving an indecent proposal. So I'd say to him, no, Bob, I don't need any money. And he says, okay, good. I like to be polite every time I ask. And then the salesman in him kicks in. But you know, Steven, maybe it do not have to be so bad as you think it is. And if there's one thing I love, it's a sales pitch. Tell me more, Bob. And he says, maybe at my age, I'd just like to see a young man have a shower. And I say, well, shucks, Bob, I could use a shower. And then afterwards, you lie down and I do all the work. Keep talking. And he says, and then we go our separate ways, and you get $50 and everybody's happy. And that's when I got offended. Because $50? We had already established I am prime virgin territory. I'm not saying bidding for my virtue, or I'm not saying my virtue is for sale, but if I was, way north of $50. I thought about seeing how high I could negotiate him up, but what if he would have taken my first offer? If I had said, more like $500, he said, perfect, I have the cash right here, and we will pull over and begin. I would have been honor bound to do it, because that was my price, I would have had to. So I couldn't take that chance. I said, Bob, I think I'm still good for money. So once again, he says, okay, no problem, I totally respect your choice, your decision. By coincidence, jerks the wheel, this is as far as I can take. So we pull into a gas station, and he unlocks the door and motions for me to get out. But as I begin to climb out, he looks up and says, "Hey, Steven, this is your last chance." And I get up, and I look down into his old little eyes, and I say, "Bob, at this time, I'm going to have to decline your polite offer." He looks back up at me, says, "At this time, Steven, will I see you again in this life?" And I says, "Bob, I've learned to never say never." And I shut the door, and as he hit the gas, I could hear him go, "Oh!" Now, I said no because I thought that the day might come when it would come in handy to say, "No, I've never exchanged sex for money," and it never has. So if anyone here has $50, I could use a shower. I am Steven.